What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boys over here at Three Man Weave. I'm your lovely co-host ZD in the building with CJ, and we coming at you guys live. It's Saturday, October 25th. Um, yeah, man. I mean, we're in the building, bro. You can't really complain. NBA season started. The vibes are high. CJ and I got an opportunity to go live and be on live on assist, and we'll try to do that a few times throughout the season. So hopefully you guys can catch us on there. But yeah, our teams are doing pretty well. Thunder are 2-0, Lakers are 1-1. Can't complain, bro. I'm doing pretty good. But CJ, how you feeling today, bro?
Man, I felt great, bro. Just being able to come home, chill, wait for these games to come on, and then just have 11 games to watch in a night, bro. It's awesome. It's amazing. Miss this feeling, bro. It's the
Oh, I know.
basketball season, bro. It's the best part of the year for me. So just been locked in, bro. Had the quad box on and had Amazon Prime on the TV. I was locked in yesterday. So doing really well, man. And like you said, Thunder are 2-0, and we were able to watch that game together, watch the Nuggets Warriors game as well. That was a banger. Shout out to the chef, you know what I'm saying? But no, yeah,
Yeah,
just being able to do that was super dope because I mean, obviously we were gonna watch the games anyways, and being able to get our like reaction to it and be able to clip it up and post it, it's cool, bro. I think it's gonna be probably the way that that we're really gonna pop off, bro. How we're gonna get more eyes on us and more attention to the podcast, because they're like, man, who are
I
these guys?
agree.
They're going crazy, like, yeah,
Yeah,
and kind
like
of
what are
see
they doing?
see
Yeah,
our takes on everything, and so yeah, no, man, I'm super excited, bro, and we got got not a lot of games tonight, but we have enough that keep us busy. I think it's a great time, bro. Great time of year. I can't
yeah,
complain.
yeah. We had a lot of crazy performances as well. Just like people dropping 50, Shea with the double nickel, VJ's performance, Wemby going crazy. Like got a lot to like gloss over, you could say. But yeah, not a ton of games today. But yeah, I guess we'll get right into it. I think the Bulls and Magic are playing today.
Hmm.
I don't think the Bulls have Kobe White or Zach Collins. We spoke about that last time on a previous pod. I wonder when Kobe White will come back.
Yeah.
Me and you spoke about Chicago and the offseason file and like the tandem with him and Josh Giddey, how
Hmm.
that's gonna look. It'll be interesting to see like specifically this year too, because we know those guys both have trust within their organization. They probably have the keys to the offense, and we still haven't seen that yet. But yeah, no, the Magic had Jalen Suggs as a game time decision. It's going right now. Is he playing?
Let me check real quick.
Because he was listed as a GTD. We do these for the listeners right now. We do these
He
at like 6:30 p.m.
he is
So,
he is not playing right now.
oh wow, so he is currently out, it seems to be. And then Mo Wagner was also listed as a game time decision. So, a couple injuries on both sides, not too much. Magic did play yesterday
Coming off
in,
of
in
back to
that really
back
close game. Yeah, coming off that back to back, and they ended up losing. I
losing.
think Paolo had that weird shot at the end of the game, and it was pretty ill advised. Could he have gotten a better shot for sure? But I think Orlando's offense has been a little bit better since Desmond Bain has been in the lineup.
Hmm.
Obviously, the 3-point shooting still needs to improve, but it's gotten better with him, added into the fold. And I think Matas Buzeli is going to be asked to step up tonight.
Yeah.
I think with Kobe White out, he's been, I know the last two games he's performed pretty well, and I think he's going to be asked to do a lot if Kobe White is going to continue to be absent. And he's a forward that can step up to the plate. So this game will be more interesting than people realize.
Hmm.
I feel like it's one of those sleeper games that like we're about to talk about the rest of the docket. So like some of the games we'll probably be watching over this one.
Hmm.
However, I'm sure it'll be competitive. I'm sure there will be great defense being played, and we'll just see which offense can get out of the mud first, honestly, because these two offenses are kind of lackluster at times.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree, bro. I think y'all know me. I'm a Magic fan on the Eastern Conference. So been watching them play. Like you said, that ill-advised shot from Paolo yesterday was super questionable. I was like, 10 seconds left, ends up taking a fadeaway jump shot. I'm just like, why?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You
too at that.
yeah, like why you could have just got a better shot, you know what I mean? So didn't like that, and he's been performing to a level that we weren't expecting him to. We had high hopes for him coming to the season. Obviously, it's still the beginning of the year. Don't want to overreact too much, but we're just basing it off what we've seen, and as of late, he's not shooting the ball well. And I feel like that's the thing with Paolo is being able to that will open up his game so much if he's able to consistently knock down that his pull up jumpers, the fadeaways, or those tough contested shots that he's taking because he's bigger than most of the people that are guarding him, so he has that mismatch each time. And then obviously we know he could get to the rim and shoot decent from the free throw. I feel like as a team, the Magic have not really been shooting the free throws
Not at
well,
all.
and that's gonna bite them in the butt come middle of the season.
Time.
You can
Yeah.
win games like that, especially when it matters towards the beginning of the season. You can kind of get your footing, but I think their defense has been pretty good for the most part. I mean, I feel like that's something that they've always held their hat high on as a team, and Jamal Mosley's doing a great job with them over there. I feel like they've had that identity for a
For
couple of
sure.
years now, so since they drafted Paolo at least. But I think it's like you said, Desmond Bane's opening up the court more a lot for them. I feel like they're getting a lot just better shots, and
Better
obviously
shot quality.
they've had an improvement from Franz Wagner. I feel like he's really been their best player, at least in the first couple games. I have him on my dynasty, so I've been keeping up with him. But obviously, I was keeping up with just the team in general, and I think what he's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
developed to, if he can stay what he or keep where he's at right now in his 3-point percentage, I think he's gonna be a solidified All Star for sure. So, but
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I think the main thing for me with them is they've been having Tristan Da Silva. He's been stepping up a lot lately. Someone coming off the bench. I think he got 15 yesterday. He got 18 the other night. So his production coming off the bench, I feel like that's something they've been lacking as well. We know that they had a lot of injuries this past season. So Cole Anthony's no longer there. He did fantastic with the Bucks the other night, though.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great. So they were losing a couple pieces, and the fact that he's able to step up. I think he was drafted last year. This is his second year, I believe. So his progression, his development, it looks like they're doing it the right way in Orlando. You know what I mean? They're developing these young guys and turning them to solidified role players. So this matchup, though, yeah, like you said, I think it's one of those.
Underrated.
It's
Yeah.
underrated for sure. It might be low key like a league pass game of the night type of
Yeah,
game,
bro. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, and Bulls and
And
Magic might end up being one of the better ones.
so, but no, yeah, I think the Magic pulled this one off. Obviously, coming off of back to
I
back,
agree.
it's going to be a tough. But I think they're a young team. They play really good defense regardless. And I think it's just them getting into the groove of things. Desmond Bain, he's been knocking down his 3-pointers, but not as much as you probably would want him to, as like that's what you brought him in here to do, is to knock down those threes and be able to score at will. He's kind of been a little streaky, like I said, first two games, kind of getting your footing, new team. I realize that, but I think they're gonna have a bounce back game. I think the Magic are gonna end
I
up
agree.
winning this game.
Yeah, bro, that's a solid take. And hopefully, Paolo, like you said, he only had 11 points last night. I don't think that'll continue. And so we know they have a young core. Like you told me off the pod. People that don't know, the Warriors are really old. CJ was like, I'm not betting them on back to backs. You can bet the Magic on a back to back. I was
Yep,
going to
I
say
like
they're
that
kind
one.
of the opposite.
Yeah.
Young core. Bane is young. Like we know they're going to play both games no matter what. Like I think they're going to bring energy regardless. So I like that take, man.
Yes, sir. Going on to this next one, the 6:30 games. Those just started not too long ago. We got the boys, Oklahoma
Yeah,
City
the Thunder.
Thunder, defending champs, going against the Hawks. Hawks are coming off that back to back. They just played against the Magic the other night. We're coming off of two double overtime games for our first two matches. That's the first time that's ever happened in the NBA's history. So
Unbelievable.
crazy. I think this is gonna be a good matchup, bro. Trey
I
Young
agree.
kind of has been struggling as of late. Hasn't really been able to get the jump shot consistently. Like he hasn't been able to make them. He's able to get to the line though. That's what you know from Trey. But he's also hasn't really been finishing at the rim that well this season. So it's a little suspect. He's getting off to a slow start. But with the Hawks, Jalen Johnson, you know what I mean? I feel like he's been always there. He's healthy now. He's starting to get his footing. But really, Nikhil Alexander Walker, bro. I feel like that's going to
Mhm.
be one of those matchups that, we're probably going to be talking about all. They're probably saying it right now in the commentary. They're cousins guarding each other. You know what I mean? They're always going to bring that up. Him and Shea, obviously. But I think it's gonna be a good matchup, man. Like you said, we just said about the Magic. Hawks are kind of in the same boat. They have a really good young core. All those guys, kind of same situation with the back to back. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna play. They obviously they won yesterday, but they're gonna want to bring the energy. I think this is their home opener as well. So bringing in the defending champs, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of juice in the arena. Uh, I didn't even bring him up. Ricochet. I feel like he's
Of
one
course.
going into his sophomore season. He's obviously gotten a lot better. I think he had an incredible first game.
Yeah.
If it's off the top of my head, but um, I think man, we're gonna see another performance from the Thunder. Why they are the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah. It's
I
gritty.
think they're gonna pressure Trey Young the whole time, right when he catches the ball. I think it's gonna cause a lot of havoc. But I think the thing with the Hawks that I'm kind of not second guessing myself because I know who is the second option in Jalen Johnson, but I just don't know if Trey has that trust in his guys yet. Trey's been the guy for since he's been on the Hawks, so it's kind of hard for him to not give that to another person, but just kind of trusting your teammates. And they're developing. Jalen Johnson's still trying to figure out the league himself. He's been injured, so he hasn't really had a whole season. That being said, I think the Thunder get this one, bro. I think we
Ah, there it
make
is.
another statement. Shea probably 30 30 bomb at
Yeah.
least. I think he's gonna. Everyone talks about it. I'm not even gonna bring it up, but the free throws and stuff. But he's gonna get to the line. He's gonna hit tough jump shots. I feel like the thing with him is just like the timely buckets, right? I feel like this is gonna be one of those games where if Trey can get his jump shot, then this will be a lot closer game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I just think the way that the Hawks have been playing, their offense hasn't been looking as fluid as we thought it was going to be coming into the season. And with our defense that we have, just calling so much disruption in the passing lanes and even just on ball defense. Chet being in the paint, I Heart down there as well. I think we just have a lot of guys, proven guys that can play really good hard nosed defense. It's going to cause them a little bit of problems. But I think the Thunder get this one, bro. I think it's going to be a close game. Like I said, if Trey Young gets his shot going, or one of those guys, Jalen Johnson, Ricochet, whoever it is, if or Porzingis too, you know what I mean? I forgot about
Of
him.
course.
If they're knocking down their threes, I feel like that's it. That's going to be what makes this game interesting because we have not been able to hit our threes. That's been something I've been harping on for a while. I mean, we did it really good during the season, but really come playoff time, and it looks like it's kind of translating into the beginning of the season. So that's obviously not good. And the fact that we are able to still be in games when we're not hitting threes is very, very hopeful for us still. And I'm not too worried about it, but it is something that has been an issue for us come playoffs. And it's something that we've had to go through as a team for, like I said, since the postseason started. So it sucks that that's how it still is coming into the season. But I think that's just something throughout the year. Once we get Isaiah Joe back, Cason Wallace was out as well last game. We've had a couple injuries, so I feel like once we start getting our guys, and that are going to
It'll
be
be a
there
lot smoother.
a lot. The offense will be clicking a lot better on the three
Yeah,
points
bro.
at least. But as of right now, I think if the Hawks hit their threes, if they're getting good easy buckets and ones and stuff like that, I feel like this game's going to be a lot closer than what probably people are thinking. But I think we end up taking this one, bro. I think this is going to be a good game. Um, and shout out AJ Mitchell, bro. I feel like AJ Mitchell's gonna
Yeah.
have to have a huge game. Those guys have played.
Facts.
We talked about it, bro. I think they played like 80 plus minutes in the first two games. So
Again,
we already have a lot of miles on us, right? As the season started. So we're gonna have one of our bench players step up, and AJ Mitchell has been doing that. So I think AJ Mitchell is gonna be the game changer for us this game
I
as
like
well.
that. Yeah, bro. I don't have too much to add. I think Atlanta's pace has been interesting to watch. I was taking a deep dive into Trey Young's potential assists, and yeah, he's going to explode eventually. He's gotten his guys involved. They just haven't hit their shots,
Hmm.
and it shows it on the box score. I think Atlanta will be fine. You brought up the matchup between Nikhil Alexander Walker and Shea, of course, right? I think Shea's going to get 30. You brought it up, though. You did a good job of explaining it. The Thunder just need to hit their threes, and their offense hasn't been clicking. It's very isolation heavy. Guys are still getting to the line and they're getting points that way, but it's not like the Thunder have been humming offensively and
Mhm.
completely blown away the league. So I think to get to that level, they just need to get their guys back. They have a ton of dudes unhealthy right now, which is pretty uncharacteristic for the Thunder's roster. But ultimately, whenever you're playing NBA games, bro, and now is the time. You don't have any excuses to be making about bodies. So I think, like you said, AJ Mitchell's preparing to step up, and he has been. I think on the Hawks side, going back to it, I mean, what can we get out of Reese Shea, and Porzingis? I think Trey Young is Trey Young. At times he's going to struggle and be pretty streaky, but he's going to get 20 and 12, 13 assists. Like I think it's going to depend on the other guys, and just this matchup is on NBA TV, nationally televised. People can watch it. We know the Thunder have a ton of nationally televised games, so hopefully people get a chance to digest this one. But I'm excited, bro. I think no Topic still, no J Dub.
Mm-mm.
I think the Thunder are just down a lot of guys. They're down a lot of men, and that's pretty uncharacteristic for them, like I mentioned earlier. So we'll see what they can do. I think Dagnall will scheme up well, and Chet Holmgren. I think Chet is going to be another key piece in this game, and didn't have the best game against Indiana. But I think, to expect a bounce back game, we saw what he could do against the Rockets with an even better defense. So
Mhm.
I'm not too concerned. I think he's gonna be terrorizing the Hawks. I think he's gonna drag Porzingis out of the paint and force him to play some defense.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. Yes, sir. But moving right along, man. Our next game at 6:30. This one's also started as well. We got the Hornets and 76ers, man. I think we know the 76ers are going to be without PG, Jerry McCain for this one. Fortunately, Trenton Watford is also out as well. And the Hornets are all healthy, and that's always good. We've spoken about LaMelo Ball and some of the injuries that he's had. Brandon Miller also missed some time last year. I think for them, the most important thing is that right there. What I just said is there's nobody on the injury list, but DJ Edgecombe. Man, can we talk about that cat for a second, CJ? I mean,
Absolutely.
what he did against the Celtics, I wanted to bring this up to you, man. He seems like he has the most fight in this draft class. It just seems like he was the most prepared out of any rookie. That includes Cooper Flag. And he just looks like, he looks like he'd been there for 6 years.
Mhm.
And it was his first game. He didn't have any nerves. He was fearless. Jalen Brown ended up making a business decision on one of his punch outs. So I just think this dude is, to have him on my dynasty, I'm very happy. But I think just in general for the team, I think he's going to bring so much juice, man, and relieve so much pressure off of Joel Embiid. I don't know what Paul George is going to look like, but I
Mm.
was going to tell you, man, he looks like he wants to take his spot.
Yeah.
And in reality, this is the real world, man. Let's say this, like I'm on the podcast right now, right? God forbid something happens to me, like CJ is gonna find somebody to take my spot. That's how it works. I'm serious. Like you got to keep the show. The show's got to go on. Just
Mhm.
because Embiid isn't going to give us 45 points anymore, and he looked pretty bad. That's besides the point. They found somebody with VJ, another person who could be a running mate to Tyrese Maxey, who was also getting to it.
Man.
The stuff that Tyrese Maxey was doing was also amazing. And honestly, me and CJ have spoken very highly of Maxey for 2 to 3 years, but I would argue at this point he's probably a top five point guard in the league stamped. His career average is creeping up towards 20, 21 points a game. And my hot take is, man, if he continues like this, he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Mm.
There's just no doubt about it.
Mhm.
Tyrese Maxey is somebody who instills fear in the opposing defenders. And I think that game versus the Celtics just showed me a lot about how they're going to be able to play going on into the season. So, storyline for this one, I'm excited to watch VJ and Tyrese. I think those two guys are one of the most dynamic duos in the league. And then, honestly, they might be the most dynamic backcourt in the league,
Mm.
like right now,
Yeah.
in terms of athleticism, speed, scoring, just all types of players. They're just in such a good spot because of that, man, hitting the jackpot with that one. But Embiid, yeah, he started off slow. He didn't look too good. I think this is a really good matchup against the Hornets to exploit. They don't have a ton of great interior defenders, trading away Mark Williams. They don't have Nick Richards anymore, right? Like some of their centers are very thin. I think Embiid can exploit this matchup tonight. But yeah, I think the Hornets are going to have to do a lot defensively to make an impact. I think on the offensive end, Con Knuppel, we saw, I'm going to be real. The Hornets have a good offensive roster. I think
Very.
they had nine, 10 people in double digits,
Hmm.
right? I don't think a ton of other teams had that. So Colin Sexton can score, Trey Mann can score. Like they have a ton of guys who can get 10, 15, 20 in a game. And I think that's really useful against the 76ers who are short manned as well and who are also going to be trying to score more points. I
Hmm.
think this is going to be an offensive matchup to say the least. I
Yep.
mean, if you want to take the over, you can. I think it was at 237 and a half.
I think I
That's not a
did.
bad bet. Yeah, that's not a bad bet. Yeah, not a bad bet. I'm with that, and I just think both of these offenses are very, very potent.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Edgecombe stole the show for me on opening night. Him and Victor. We'll talk about Victor later, but yeah, it just that debut. I've never seen that before. It was the third best one of all time. None of us have ever seen it before. So, I mean, he just seems so poised and so ready for the moment, and I was telling you, man, he just a lot of rookies, including Cooper Flag, kind of shell shocked. They're prisoners of the moment. He was the one dude who didn't seem to care, about anything. He just
Hmm.
went out there and did his thing. And even Brian Scalabrine was saying, like, man, this dude VJ Edgecombe is the real deal.
Hmm.
Like he was saying it on the Celtics broadcast.
Yeah, no, it's like you said it perfectly, bro. I feel like this is for the Hornets, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. Your core is pretty healthy for the most part right now. This is gonna be a good game for y'all to keep it going, keep that juice flowing. Your rookies, Con Canupo is looking good. But like you said, it is the VJ and Tyrese Maxey show at this point for me as well. That's gonna be what I'm looking forward to. Obviously, that performance that they had their first game of the year hopefully it was not, I'm not expecting that every game, right? But just kind of building off of that and seeing how well they can play with each other. Pause. Like you said, Joel Embiid didn't have that great of a good game or first game. This is a great matchup for him. Excited to see what he looks like. I'm pretty sure like at the beginning of the season they were, or before the season started, they were saying that like he might not even play basketball again. So like it was some crazy stuff going on. So the fact that he is out there, shout out to you, Joel. Uh Want to see you get back to that form, man. Like when you're good, the league is in a great spot. You Jokic, like great battles. But
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm with you, bro. I think this is going to be an offensive shootout. Like you said, it was at 237 and a half. I took that over. I think no defense really is going to be played. Really on the Hornet side, to be fair. But I think that, like you said, 76ers being kind of short manned right now, not having their full rotation, it's going to be a shootout, honestly. So
Yeah,
I
I
took
think
that over, and I think like you said, bro, I'm high on VJ as well. I feel like we were coming into this draft. We had, or coming to the season, we had him on our rookie of the year race. So we think he's going to be a great player, and that first game was a good testament to that. I feel like the fact that he was able to do what he did. I watched him play at Baylor a couple games, and I didn't think his jump shot would have gotten as fluid so quickly. You know what I mean? And the fact that he was able to
that.
knock down so many threes that first game, I feel like that's a good sign. And he's just an athletic freak. You know what I mean? He's always gonna be able to come down, punch it on you. So I feel like that's a dot. Like you said, I think that is the most dynamic backcourt that we have in this league, because I can't really think of any like 1-2 guards that are like that
Not
right
like
now.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
not like
not
that.
as athletic. Yeah, let's say, because I think we're
Right.
coming to this season. I think we said D Book and Jalen Green, like
Mhm.
offensively. I think that's what we said, but
Those guys are up there.
they're up
They're
there.
probably yeah,
But that was just the first one that came to my mind. But yeah, bro, I think this is gonna be a pretty good game. Honestly, I think this beginning of the season, these early games, first two games of the season, man, they have been fantastic. So I'm expecting
yeah,
that still. I feel like everyone is kind of juiced up right now. It's kind of weird. I feel like everyone's kind of amped up for the season. I feel like this is probably one of the better starts to NBA season that we've had in a long time. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good
yeah,
one. But I got the Sixers as well.
yeah. I'm taking the Sixers. I think they got a little bit more firepower, bro. But I mean, don't be shocked. I want to watch this one, so that's the one I'm gonna get to after this.
Yes, sir. Going on to the 7 p.m. Game. This one just tipped off. We got the Pacers versus Grizzlies. Obviously, the Pacers coming off that double overtime loss to the Thunder a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Grizzlies have not been looking good at all. I know they won that
yeah,
first game. They went against was it the Heat?
Yeah, or no, it was the Pelicans
Pelicans. I know they won that game. Oh yeah, it was against fucking Zion and Ja. That's right.
and Jeremiah Fears. Yeah,
Jeremiah
he's
Fit.
over.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no,
That's
the
tough though.
Grizzlies, man. I don't know what it is. I'm probably gonna bring Dynasty a lot up in this podcast now, ladies and gentlemen. So just a fair
Me
warning.
too. Me too.
But Jalen Wells is on my Dynasty team. He had a decent first game. This past game didn't do that well. I just think it's the offense right now for the Grizzlies. It's not really looking that good, that fluid. Triple J's kind of holding down the paint, I guess, and Edie's still out. They have a couple injuries, but Scottie Pippen Jr. out for like a month
Yeah,
or
SPJ.
4 to 6 weeks, whatever it is. Um, but I think it's gonna be a bounce or not even a bounce back game because the Pacers really played incredible against us. I think they're just gonna keep that going, bro. I think they're gonna be. I don't remember where if I had the over total or the win totals over for them, but man, I'm not gonna lie. Like I think they're gonna hit that over. If I didn't say it prior to the season start, that first game alone kind of showed me kind of what they're gonna be about. Barring an injury happening to one of the like Pascal or someone like that. I think they're going
That's
to be
the thing.
that I would say. Besides that happening, I mean that you can say that way. Really, any team too. But if that
Right, of
doesn't
course.
happen, I think they have a good enough bench, bro. I mean, Benedict Mathurin was going crazy. Neesmith hasn't been doing the greatest, but I think Nemhard also got injured. But what Pascal, what he's able to do, he's just been kind of taking over, bro. That shot that he hit to send the game to overtime, bro, against us, it was
Oh man,
insane.
lab work.
We were watching that live too, so y'all got to see our reaction, man. He just surgical. It's crazy, like what he's been able to do, develop his game into what it is now. It's kind of crazy because I remember people saying Pascal is just like a spin merchant. He would always just spin, go to the
Yeah,
rim. Now he's facing up, crossing, made Chet fall, and then hits a contested
yeah.
jump shot.
Touch
You know what I mean?
earth,
Like
mid range money.
he's elevated his game so much, and I think he's going to be a huge part of their success this season. So I think, man, just the way they've been, after they looked against playing against us, bro, I think the Pacers ended up getting this one. Grizzlies looking like little offense stuck in mud a little bit. Jaw hasn't really been to get, or he had a pretty good first game, but I think it's just who else
Yeah,
on that
you're right.
roster is going to step up, and that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And I think with the Pacers, they've kind of shown me that multiple people can step up
Yeah, they got juice.
in the game. So I'm going Pacers this one, bro.
I love that. The Grizzlies have gotten so many excuses too, to the point where it's just like this just might be who they are. I mean, Brandon Clark's been hurt for forever, right? Like at some point we gotta see the writings on the wall for them. But you did a good job of explaining the Pacers situation. We know Aaron Neesmith got to get it going. I think Nemhard's out for this one. We'll see what that means for their guards. I think Benedict Mathurin was your
TJ
play of the day was Pascal.
Pascal.
Okay, yeah, I like
I think
that.
it
I
was
like
like
that. If Nemhard,
22 and a half, 21 and a half.
yeah, I don't think TJ is going
Yeah, I
either.
would say is TJ injured? He didn't go for game one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going.
Mm.
So
Who's
they're going to
their?
be pretty
I was
thin.
about to say who's their starting guard then?
Probably maybe Ben Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd. Ben Shepherd. I didn't bring him up. Yeah, he played incredible against us, man.
Yeah, but like they have some guys who are like you're not thinking of, and when they get in the lineup, they give you 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
Jarris
Jarris Walker, there you go. That's another dude. So from Houston as well. So they have a couple energy guys where they can withstand some injuries. I think Memphis, on the other hand, they got to do everything they can to stay healthy, and I think John Moran and Jaren Jackson Jr. like their duo time is almost up. We got to start seeing the results here because you can't really tell me today if I'm an NBA sitting GM like, John Morant and Jaren Jackson is a strong enough core to get us to the NBA Finals. Like, I'm not believing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Pacers do have a deeper team. We'll see how that translates to the court tonight. But ultimately, Memphis is pissed. They had a massive loss to the Heat last night. Coming off a back-to-back, you could say energy is going to be low, but I'm sure they're going to be playing pissed off. They don't want to lose by 20 again. So
Right.
I think the spread was 2.5. Should be a close game. I think this one could be the game of the night as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. I
Yeah,
think it's
bro.
it's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, no, going on to the 8 p.m. This one is in 45 minutes. We're at 7:15 now. This is Suns versus Nuggets. So Nuggets, they haven't had their home opener yet. This is their home opener. Suns have played a few games already. I think the Suns are on a back-to-back. But Phoenix is going to be without Jalen Green. Obviously, that injury is done a lot of harm to their offensive lineup. It's put a lot of pressure on Devin Booker. I think Dylan Brooks has stepped up and kind of filled the scoring role for them. I think he's got 20 points in the last two games, so he is scoring at a high clip. But yeah, they need to backfill him, and then the Nuggets are healthy, so the Nuggets got their full roster for tonight. Cam Johnson, we spoke about last time on the pod, didn't have the greatest game
Hmm.
against the Warriors, but I am expecting more from him in this home opener. But I think key storylines for me is just do the Suns have enough firepower, man, on the offensive end. I don't know if Malawak's even seen a ton of valuable minutes,
Mm.
which is interesting. I don't know why they're not playing him like 20, 25, 30 minutes a night. I think he really needs to develop. But if they aren't going to have him there as a scorer, can Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker, and company give me enough points to beat Nikola Jokic? We know that what the Nuggets are going to do, especially at home, they're one of the best home teams in the NBA. The offense is going to flow through Jokic, and he's probably going to end up having a triple double. He also didn't have the greatest game against the Warriors either, from a shooting perspective. I think he was like 8 of 24 or something like that. So he did not shoot well. I think he'll shoot much better for this matchup, and I think Phoenix is in an interesting spot because they're playing with house money a little bit. Like nobody expects them to do well. People expect the Nuggets to go to the NBA Finals. What I will say is like Phoenix is a little bit of an underdog in this one. I think they're live here just based off the fact that they're going to be playing with house money. Like I said, I think Devin Booker's going to score well even in the altitude, and if they can rally behind the couple guys who are giving them some juice on the offensive end, Devin Booker gives you 30, Grayson Allen gives me 15, Brooks gives me 20. We got a game here. If
Hmm.
everybody else can fill in and do some other things on the defensive end to stop Jokic. And, I think Jamal Murray is another person we bring him up second to Jokic a lot on this podcast, but he is another viable weapon who you got to worry about stopping. So I think there's just a lot of defensive adjustments and assignments that the Suns will have to make sure that they lock up. But other than that, I think this matchup's going to be solid. It's the late game one, so that's the one we'll probably be able to watch fully through. So I'm excited. I think Aaron Gordon too, and we saw the 50-point performance against the Warriors. Like he's just for people who don't know, he's no longer this like, oh, we don't know if he could shoot three. Like he's going to be 38%, 40% from deep from here on out. And I wonder how that's going to improve his scoring average. To me, he's the third option on that team. He's before Christian Brown and Cam Johnson in terms
Hmm.
of scoring. I think they look to Aaron Gordon to be a kind of like a instant microwave, bro. Somebody who can catch fire and be kind of a wild card.
Hmm.
Like some, I guess few teams aren't going to always be expecting it, which is pretty useful. But I think teams will be accustomed to seeing him do well, and that'll change the scouting report. But as of right now, he looks to be like a pretty good X factor.
Yeah. No, yeah, this game is gonna be a good one, bro. I'm right with you. I think the question for me is like you brought it up. Are the Suns gonna be able to score as much as the Nuggets are? Obviously, that's the name of the
Yeah,
game, right? But I just think from that Jalen Green injury is slowing their season down a lot. Obviously, it's still the beginning of the season, but they were heading into the year thinking they were going to have Jalen Green and Devin Booker. And obviously, I brought it up earlier. That's one of the more dynamic scoring backcourts that we would have in this league if they were both healthy. But as of right now, they haven't. And, D-Buck hasn't been on the hottest start. Obviously, they lost to the Clippers. I think it was yesterday. They lost
they did.
by like
Yeah,
27. But, I think like
yeah,
you said about who we were talking Grizz.
Camp. Oh,
Grizzlies
Grizzlies.
losing
Okay.
that game. I feel like they're gonna have that energy. They
Yeah, pissed off a little bit.
they're 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 really a Grayson Allen game from like winning. I feel like that's really
Right.
that
Exactly.
type of
Yeah.
person that needs to go off. Like you said, Dylan Brooks has been doing an incredible job. Man, I think Dylan Brooks is one of those like type of players you have on your team that kind of changes the culture a little bit, bro. Like we've seen it
Yeah.
with Memphis,
He's been a great
we
signing.
saw it in Houston, and hopefully, I mean, we're kind of seeing it right now with the Suns a little bit. Obviously, they just got blown out last game, but what he's able to do, he's not going to be like the best player on the roster, but I feel like what he brings, the energy, defense, the grittiness, the like that pest type of player.
Exactly.
He brings a lot of value to a team, and it's kind of showing. So it's cool that he's kind of found that role in the NBA because he, like I said, he's not an all-star, all NBA type of player, but he's still very valuable for a franchise and winning. So I think that him being really the second scoring option on this roster as these first two games of the season is a great step for them. And they're, like I said, they're like a Grayson Allen game, him hitting 4 or 5 threes in a game from winning. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where they're at. So if they're able to do that, if we do get a game from Grayson Allen or like a Royce O'Neal type of player, like if they end up getting on fire a game,
Exactly.
then they'll be able to keep up with the Nuggets. But Jokic, bro. I mean, you got him on your dynasty. You understand how valuable he is and what he provides. You brought it up to me too for the first game or that game against the Warriors that we were watching, and Nuggets and Warriors. It does look like he's just kind of like out there. He's such a great player. He could get ridiculous stats, but there's moments in the game where he just kind of seems a little like disengaged. Obviously, it's the beginning of the season, but I think he's
I
also just
agree.
that type of player. Well, he does what he does so effortlessly to where it makes it seem like he's not doing much, and then come like postseason time is when he really locks in and he gets in
Turns
his
it up.
bag.
Yeah.
But that being said, I still think the Nuggets end up getting this one, man. Aaron Gordon has proven to the world at this point that he is a 3-point shooter as of late, and there's no reason
Yeah.
why he should be getting wide open looks like he was last game. But I think
For real.
they just have a little more juice, bro. I think the Nuggets right now, they had a day's
I agree.
rest. They have a little more rested up than the Suns are, and I think Jokic home opener, he's gonna put on a show, man. Like I said, he
Yeah.
makes it look so easy, so effortless, but I mean he's gonna probably drop a triple double tonight. So I think
Yeah.
this is a
He's
matchup for him.
brilliant. He's brilliant. He's like you said, he makes the game look so easy. Like even if he's not, doing the craziness, but he still gets triple doubles, and you kind of just are like, oh yeah, Jokic had another triple double tonight.
Hmm.
You know, so yeah. But now, my man, I think we had a lot of good games for our teams respectively. And if you are a three-man weave regular, we like to do the sections where we talk about our squads. So CJ, can you tell us a little bit about these double OT games, man? I know you already broke down that first one against the Rockets, but the Pacers game was pretty crazy, right?
Man. I told you before we even started recording, or not recording, started the live when we were watching the game. I think this is gonna be a game for the Pacers, where I think they're gonna be juiced up. It's their home opener this season. Obviously, the last game that they played was against us in the Game 7 NBA Finals, so obviously there's a little bit of tension there. Tyrese got injured, so he's not in the equation right now. But I felt like they were gonna be juiced, bro, and they just came out on fire, bro. Like you know what I mean? They were just hitting all their shots. We brought them up. We brought up everyone that was kind of going crazy already. The Ben Shepherds, the Jarris Walkers, Pascal was getting to it. It was looking like a really good game the whole time. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those. It was back and forth. I feel like I think they went on like a 12-0 run, and they were beating us
Mm,
by like 8, I believe. So that was a game. It's always, basketball is a game of runs. So, but I think with this matchup, bro, coming off that double overtime, just the lead up to everything, like I brought it up earlier, that Pascal shot, hitting it, going to overtime. I feel like that was the start of everything. And bro, just man, we bring him up a lot. Obviously, he's the MVP, so it's rightfully so. But just what Shea has been able to do, bro. Obviously he got to the free throw line a lot, and people are gonna say whatever they want to say about that. But even when he's not at the free throw line, just the shots that he's hitting, I feel like that has been he has been our offense as a late the first 2 games at least. No one really, besides AJ Mitchell as well. I want to bring him up for sure. But everyone besides those two hasn't really been consistent offense. Obviously, Chet had that great first game 1, and then this game wasn't the best. But just the consistency that we get from Shea night in and night out is just incredible to me, bro. Just on both sides of the ball. He's playing defense. He's gonna be guarded by your best defender. So I think him just exploiting matchups, and I think they were hitting us with zones because we haven't really been able to hit our threes, and then we're in and out of it. I feel like whenever they were in a zone, he would just attack the middle, try to get that jump shot, and ended up dropping a double nickel, bro. 55 career high. We saw 2 50-point games in a night, which is crazy, and
That,
it was the start
that
of
may
the
not
season.
happen.
That might not happen again, bro. So, I want people to know
Yeah,
that, like, that was crazy. And just being able to, like, watch that shit with you, bro, because I feel like we don't really get to watch, like, the basketball
not
games
at all.
together. So we are kind of just like shooting the shit the whole time, just chopping it up, talking about, oh, where'd that guy go? Oh, he went to
Yeah,
he
I
went
wish
to
we had a
Boston
Lakers
College.
one too.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, dude. We will.
we
But
will one day.
no, yeah, it was a great
Super
game,
cool.
bro. Like I said, Pacers the whole time. They had players hitting big shots. We're defending us pretty well. I think it's just more so our not being able to knock down our three pointers that really had us
Yeah,
struggling, that had the game so close,
okay,
because whenever we do knock
fair
those
enough.
three pointers down, that's when we beat teams by a lot of points. So, like I said, bro, it's I said it the first double overtime game. Um, seeing not having J Dub right now is such a huge hole that we're gonna have to fill, and obviously we're still able to win games, but playoff time when it really matters, where I'll look back at this moment and be like, damn, I remember at the beginning of the season, first month, whatever it is, not having J Dub and where we were lacking, and he is going to feel that void
Yeah,
for us.
that
So
void.
just having
Yeah,
that secondary playmaker whenever Shea sits, that's what we're lacking right now. And I feel like, not everyone, not people not being able to knock down their jump shots as well is kind of what is slowed us down. But defensively, bro, it's just feel like it's what we've been seeing for the past 2 seasons. One of the best, if not the best, in the league, and it's incredible. It's just Pacers
yeah,
were having their Benedict Mathurin going off. I think he ended up dropping, was it 36,
yeah.
38,
He almost had 40
40.
points.
Yeah, he almost had a 40
He
bomb.
just
So
clean fouled out.
he did. He found out in
Yeah,
overtime. But
yes, sir.
no, yeah, it was a great game, bro, and I'm
Super.
being able to watch that shit with you, dude, that was kind of my, like, highlight of
Yeah,
that night. Not gonna lie. Obviously,
yeah. Super
being able to
exciting.
watch Shea drop 55, his career high with you, that shit was dope, bro. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
moment I'll never forget
core
personally.
memory. Yeah,
So,
core memory for
but it,
sure.
it was a great game,
Um,
man. Didn't have a lot of guys, like I said earlier, a lot of injuries that we're still having to deal with. But it's how the league is, and it's the next man up. And I think we've proven to
2-0.
teams, we've proven to the league that we can develop our guys. So I think we're in a good spot, bro. Obviously, not the greatest spot. Don't want to be in two overtimes for your first two games. It's never happened before, so we never seen what this looks like later on, or the game after, like tonight. We'll see, but um, I think it's high hopes, bro. 2-0, can't complain. And we're defending champs, bro. So it's like, what can I really
There you
say?
go. Yeah, bro, I'm with it, man. I think for me coming off that loss to the Warriors, I mean, I spoke about it on a pod that it hasn't came out yet, but you guys will see and hear. All my gripes that I was talking about, the defense, the Aiton, everything's flipped for me last night, man. I'm watching the Timberwolves game. Currently 0-1. It was we were playing at home, so first quarter, man, just the Anthony Edwards versus Luka Doncic show. I mean, my goodness, if you got to watch that first quarter, it was amazing. I think the Timberwolves had like 40 points. We ended up scoring like 30 something ourselves. So very competitive first quarter. I think for me is just we know Luka gets busy here. We know he'll probably lead the league in first quarter points, actually, but I think he purposely goes out and tries to be as aggressive as possible in these moments. And seeing Anthony Edwards always come down the court and look to get his own shot, I think it was really cool to see that back and forth. And it was a game within the game. That's what I was trying to say. And I think that was really cool for me to see because I could see that those two were kind of going at each other for the first quarter. And Julius Randle was filling in as well, had a really great first half. I think going on to the second quarter, though, that's where our defense shined, bro. And I've said it to you already on this podcast, man, but Marcus Smart is a
Hmm.
dude.
Hmm.
That cat is going to play. And I love the way that he plays, man. He's diving on basketballs. He's getting his hands in passing lanes. And for me, that second quarter, you just see it again, bro. Like, he's somebody who doesn't care what happens on the offensive end. He likes to play defense, and he tells other guys, if you're not going to play defense, you can't play with me. So you see Luka guarding, getting over screens. You see AR guarding, getting over screens. And those are the dudes who I'm watching, bro. I'm not watching Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt. Like, why am I going to watch people who know how to play defense?
Right.
I'm watching Luka Doncic's body language and other,
Mm-hmm.
Laravia, right? Somebody who can be a really good defensive player, but he's just never shown that at the forward spot for some reason. And he's super athletic, super cool. I think he hit a three in that second quarter, but just that momentum shift, bro. And we started really forcing Ant to get rid of the ball. We started trapping Ant and Julius Randle. We started to trap.
Yeah.
You know what? And that started to signal to me that JJ, he saw what he saw, man. He has two eyes, just like me and CJ. He was like, you know what? We got to start doubling this cat because he's torching us, and he always does. He's done it every single game for the last 2 seasons while he's been on the Timberwolves. Like, we got to figure out what we're gonna do. So we started doubling and Julius Randle in the second quarter, and that really helped us stifle their offense. But wanted to bring up AR as well. The facilitation here, bro. I think getting Ayton involved. I know Ayton had a couple buckets in the second quarter that were huge in terms of momentum. He hasn't scored a ton of points, and I think this game he ended up in double figures. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he had 16 points, but
He had 15.
definitely 15 points. But a very solid game from him. I think AR was purposely looking for him. I think Luka was it was interesting. Luka was kind of frustrated with him in the first half. I'm not gonna lie, I saw that. He was bickering at him a few times because Ayton would give up again offensive rebounds. Rudy Gobert grabs it, puts it back in, and Ayton's not really there. The body language isn't great, and I know Luka was kind of pissed off with that. But in that second quarter, AR did a really good job of trying to get him involved on the offensive end, and that took us into the third quarter and the second half where we never looked back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another thing I had brought up on the pod last time as it came out. But our defense doesn't carry over. But it carried over.
Mm-hmm.
We only gave up 110 points to the Timberwolves last night. So, I said it against the Warriors, we only gave up 55 points and a half. That's on track for 110. And 110 points per game is great defense. Like you're gonna be able to beat a lot of teams if we only give up 110 points. So going into that third, I think it was a little bit of a higher scoring one though. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle again, man. I think Anthony Edwards is poised, bro. He had he came off a screen and he did a drag back and he shot a three and it was nylon. And I was thinking about it, like his growth as a player has been really cool to see. I know you've been watching him since he was torching the Grizzlies in that first playoffs that he ever had. And just his game from there to where it is now, it's just grown tenfold. But I think Luka Doncic, bro, I wanted to bring that up. I think in the third quarter, he just started opening everything up. Timberwolves were not doubling. Chris Finch said it pre and post that he doesn't really care if Luka goes off. He's not Mr. Stop Luka. I think Popovich coached a similar way where they were like, we'll just let Luka do whatever and then guard everybody else. And I think that's a decent strategy. But yesterday I kind of bit him in the butt. I think in the third quarter he really started to get it going, hit a couple threes, got to the line a lot. Luka had 49 points last night, by the way. I think he's the only player in NBA history to start the season with 2 40-point performance, 10 rebound, and 5 assists. So, there's not another player in NBA history that's done that twice to start the season, and Luka ended up getting that last night. But yeah, I think the fourth quarter was one where we kind of started running away with it. I think that's where we showed our dominance and we continued to put, the foot on the gas pedal. You got to step on their neck. I'm of the belief you got to kick them while they're down. Gabe Vincent hit a few threes. I think Roy Hachimura had some timely buckets. And Laravia, Marcus Smart, and DeAndre Ayton, the three new additions, looked really good last night. And, we were playing a pretty high-level team. Mind you, guys, the Timberwolves have been to the conference finals. It's not like they're scrubs here.
Yeah,
so,
back to back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think J.J. Redick did a really good job of managing the rotations. He did this thing, CJ, where he put Austin Reeves and Rui with Laravia, Ayton, and Smart. So, a couple other pieces that, aren't offensively gifted per se, but can still score when needed, and then they can guard. He did that a couple times, putting that lineup out there, which I think was really cool to see. I also know he did another similar one with Austin Reeves, Vando, I think Smart, Ayton and Laravia, so no Luka minutes.
Mm.
Which we won the no Luka minutes because of Austin Reeves. I think he's been averaging, bro. He's shooting 54% from the field, averaging 25 points a game and 10 assists a night.
Yeah.
I know it's only
Two
two
games.
games,
Yeah.
but
Still.
if you're getting that production from AR, and I'm assuming whenever LeBron comes back, that'll still be there. I think we have the firepower to withstand LeBron not being here. And I did want to finish it out talking about him. His body language looked a lot
A
better. I don't know if
lot
it was
better.
the jersey he was wearing. He was wearing his son's Arizona jersey. I don't know if it was because Luka was going for 50, and Luka missed a free throw to get 50. By the way,
Crazy.
JJ put him in and then took him out because he missed, so he didn't get 50. But I just saw a lot better vibes from LeBron. Obviously, we got the W, which can't hurt, but I just think this was a complete game, man. All the gripes that I had talked to you about on the other pod, the defensive, not carrying over, Ayton not setting screens and rolling hard. I didn't see any of that last night, and that's why we scored 130 points, 128 points or whatever it was. You got an 18-point win over, a team that went to the conference finals last year. So I'm not complaining. I think 1-1 is obviously I'd rather be 2-0, but my team's doing pretty well right now, I would say. And we're going to get into a new segment in a second here. It's called Three Man Weaves, Three Stars of the Week. And we're going to go over some of the top players that have been playing this week and kind of talk about some of their performances and what we think. But you guys will see, man. I can't complain with how Luka's been playing, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah, bro. I mean, my
He's
main
good.
takeaway from that game, obviously, Luka had an incredible game. I'm expecting that from him at this point. Sucks to say it, but that's just how great of a player he is, and that's why I think he's going to win MVP. But it's just seeing how happy he is, bro. He looks so like joyful, and I feel like that's something that gets
Joy.
overlooked whenever you're playing in a professional league or the biggest league to your respected sport. It's where it starts from. He's having fun out there, and he's like, he's past kicking it out, to AR, smiling, hit his three, like walks away, like, dude,
Yeah,
it's great. Like that's what I was paying attention to, bro. Just because that's what you have to look forward to for the foreseeable
that's
future.
part of
It's
it.
part
Yeah,
of building up that continuity with one another and kind of like making it known that if it wasn't already that this is Luka's team now, and I think that's how you want him to be happy. And I feel like we didn't really get to see that a lot this past season. Obviously the whole trade situation, we talked about it to length already this past year, but just seeing that whole situation go down and the fact that he's actually like joyful playing basketball again, it's super dope because when he's happy, bro, and he's hooping, like the league is just in a good spot. Luka is
in a
one of the
better
greatest
spot.
that we've seen I've ever seen play. So the fact he's kind of bringing that juice back, and you're having the Marcus Smart step up on the defensive side of the ball, and AR doing his thing, kind of carrying over
Yeah,
from last season, and then Rui had an incredible game. So y'all have the pieces there. It's just whenever they're all clicking at the right time, and I think we saw that the other night against the Timberwolves. So like you said, Timberwolves are definitely I wouldn't say one of the better teams right now, but they've been to the conference finals back to back seasons. So at this point for
they're
us,
not like
it's
a pushover.
exactly, they're not a team that you could just look over anymore. So I think what Ant was able to do, feel like it's incredible. But I was more happy about seeing, or more focused on seeing how happy Luka was playing basketball, bro. Because I
Yeah,
feel like I haven't
it's
seen that in a
exciting.
while.
Playing with joy, that's really important, bro. I'd say that's 90% of it.
Hmm.
Because if you're not happy, it's really hard to play your best.
Hmm.
And he looks happy, bro,
He
for
does.
sure.
He sure
Yes,
does,
sir.
bro.
But man, you ready to talk about our three stars?
Let's do it, man.
All right, man. I'll start it off. Star number one. I made a pact with CJ, man. I'm not going to talk about this cat too much. I think you guys get it already, but it's none other than Victor Wembanyama. I mean, you guys saw what he did against the Mavericks and Cooper Flag, just a 40 point, 15 rebound, three block performance. And, I brought this up to CJ. It seemed like the Mavericks were shocked at some of the things that he was doing, but I'm no longer shocked, man. I mean, my jaw was on the floor when he hit Derek Lively with the tween cross, step back, J and one in your face from three. You just uh, speechless. I don't know. You don't see that at 7'5", and Um, yeah, he might be the most dangerous player to walk the earth right now,
Hmm.
just based off of his guard skills. He's within range as soon as he crosses half court. He can shoot from the logo. And his defensive ability, man. I mean, the 9 blocks against the Pelicans. I mean, huh?
Crazy.
Honorable mention for this position because it's the last one out. VJ Edgecombe, 34 points against the Celtics. Could have put him with the 1 star this week. I think Wemby already played the 2 games, so that's why we ended up putting him here. I think if VJ played Charlotte yesterday, it might have been a different story. But that was the honorable mention for the number one, the first star at least.
Yes, sir. Going on to our second star, the one and only reigning MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Coming off his performance against the Pacers, he dropped 55 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, in a double overtime win, 141-135 against the Pacers, like I brought up earlier. Man, we had to do this one for one just because Shai dropped his career high, but he's the reigning MVP, and it looks like he's picked up where he left off last season. And I think that shouldn't be getting overlooked. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people are so
Not at
fixated
all.
on how he scores and the free throw merchant, whatever, but just his ability to keep doing it at this high of a level, and his team is winning and he's already proven to us. I think that has to be the second star this week, man. I mean, obviously that performance, without him we would not have won. And I think
Yeah.
just being where he's at, bro, just in his career, it's everything's lining up perfectly. Like this is a perfect.
Yeah.
I think he was your MVP winner of this upcoming season, right?
Question for you.
What's up, bro?
Is he gonna win Player of the Week, bro? Because I want to. The thing is with this, we'll keep a record. We'll see if one of the guys on the list always wins Player of the Week.
I
Because I
think
feel like that's how you guys know we're
I
doing it right.
personally, I think Luka is going to win Player of the Week. Personally, depending on this performance tonight, if Shea drops another 40
Okay.
bomb or 45
Yeah, because
piece, then yes, Shea. But
Kim and Shea are 1 and 2 in scoring. Shea is 45. Luka's 46 a game
mhm.
in two
In 2
games. But
games, yeah. But
it's
yeah, I
still
think if he has a 45-point game or a crazy game winner or something, then maybe. But I think if not, if he just has like a bad game, right? Like 30, 32 points, whatever.
30 something.
I think
Yeah.
I think Luca will get it just for the amount of points that he's scoring plus all the other stats that he's been recording.
All right, sir. Well, you took it away, man. The guy that we gave our 3 stars to is none other than Luka Doncic. This is the best player that we think of the week in the NBA. Pretty simple. Luka scored 49 points, 11 rebounds, and had 8 assists last night against the Timberwolves, bro, in a statement win. And yeah, I mean, Doncic is I think he's the only. I said it earlier. It was 30 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, but he's the only player in NBA history to have those, back-to-back 40-point performances with the 10 rebounds and 5 assists. He also has 92 points, 23 rebounds, and 17 assists on the current season campaign. So,
Sheesh.
I mean, he's averaging like 46 a game, 11 boards, 9 assists, damn near a 50-point triple double. It's just absurd. I have no words. I think I'm just when I'm watching, I try to take it in and appreciate it because I don't want to jump the gun and be like, oh, he's gonna win MVP, get all excited, and then he doesn't because that
Right.
would really hurt my feelings. But I'm trying to like just watch it and appreciate it as it goes on.
Yep.
But I think against the Kings this next game, bro, they're not gonna double. Who knows why? But they're not gonna double.
Nope.
So Sabonis will be back. I think Luka gets 40 again. No LeBron, so I'd expect him. I think you could take 40 plus, bro. You said it. And I was thinking about betting it. It was crazy. CJ called Shay's 50. He was like, I think he gets 40 or 50, bro.
Yeah, I
And I was
did.
like, man, that's like plus 200.
Yeah. No, I
Like that
did.
don't
I
that
didn't
don't
call that.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, before it happened. So I think I'm calling Luca's 40. I
Okay.
think he'll be the first player to get 3. I just don't see the Kings doubling. And I think they're also we haven't talked about the Kings yet, so we'll talk about them for a second. Levine looks awesome.
Awesome.
Like they
Amazing.
they they can score. So they're
Hmm.
gonna be looking to score against our defense, who's not the best, especially on the interior. I think DeRozan and Levine and company with Sabonis down the lineup, it'll be a good game. But yeah, Luka Doncic, bro, 3 stars. You said it, player of the week most likely, so
Hmm.
can't complain.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I just think with the crazy stats he's been putting up these first 2 games, and I'm assuming he's going to do that the same thing going against the
That's
Kings.
unreal.
It makes sense. I think he's going to be the player of the week for sure.
All right, bro. Yeah, I'm with you, man. We'll see if y'all can book it,
Yeah,
man. Y'all
book.
can track it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we don't have them. The player of the week's not out yet. It comes out tomorrow, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yeah,
We
we'll
do
see.
these on Saturday, so we'll see.
We'll see, man.
But yeah,
Well,
my man, you have anything else you wanted to add?
nah, man, it's been an incredible start to the season, man. Like we
Bro,
brought it up earlier to y'all, man. It's
feels
like
so good.
it's what we've been waiting for since June. So we're I feel like a little kid being able to just like sit on my laptop, watch all these games, and stay up till midnight and finish it, dude. It's been amazing because I've been waiting for this and excited, bro. It's looking like a great start for just the league in general, and specifically for my team, bro. Like I said, coming off those back-to-back double overtime wins is incredible. I think it kind of shows what we're made of, and obviously I would want to win in regulation, but the fact that we are even in those positions, I think it just shows that we don't ever give up. We believe in each other, and building off of
Capable.
this past year, bro. But besides that, nah, man, got nothing else to say. You got anything to let the people know before we head out?
Yeah, just now that basketball's here, try to catch as many games as possible. We know League Pass has made it tough to watch some of them, but I think the national televised game tonight is the Thunder game. So I'm just excited, bro. I mean, I'm ready for the season to get underway. We know it's already started, but we got a lot of decisions to make with the dynasty team. Stuff to keep up with. I think the 3 stars of the week will keep us busy talking about some of the performances that are going on in the NBA, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Lowry Markkinen's been doing good as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're gonna talk
We're
about
talking
we're gonna talk
about
about
some
some guys
guys,
on
yeah,
that list. So
definitely.
excited to talk about that. And then yeah, bro, just make sure you're subscribed. We appreciate all of you guys' engagement. Any like, comment, we love you guys. We really appreciate it. You make it possible for us to do this. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Am I? Well,
Yes, sir.
if y'all liked and enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.